What's going on, y'all? So, y'all know how I've been doing this Assassin's Creed controversy coverage for quite some time, and I like to add some diversity to this. There's a gentleman that I just watched that's from Africa, and the first video I did was how actual Japanese and American replied. I talked to Japan for such a long time over the last 5 nights, spending most of my time doing that. I did a react, got into a drama with some guy. Y'all know who it is. He's over in New Orleans. And then I covered two African Americans at the beginning of one of my videos doing stuff. But what's interesting about this, and let's be very genuine here, there was no such thing as an African American living a lifestyle they live now back in those times. Yasuke would be a character that would be considered African, so that should be something towards Africa, and we should want to hear from them. I don't take African Americans that serious, and I don't even like that term together because it just doesn't make sense. But they didn't make that either. Because it's like y'all trying to sit here and make it seem like it's racist towards you. You're not in Africa. You didn't grow up in Africa. This is Africa in Japan that this game is about. And the idea of them even putting hip hop beats trying to represent Africa is insane because that has nothing to do with that. So yeah, start being real and stop being fake. And stop trying to make it seem like it's about you because you're not in Africa and you don't represent Africa. So let's see what an actual African, because I'm going to put diversity here and my coverage on this topic has to say. In Japan, y'all tune in because this guy actually did a good job and I am going to support him. And maybe we can bring him some subscribers. He's only at 113. He didn't do such a bad job. He did what he could. But let's do this.
Hello everyone and welcome back to the channel. It's Wolf and I'm back. Hello everyone and welcome back to the channel. It's Wolf and I'm back with another video. Yeah. Um Everyone has been talking about Assassin's Creed Shadows and the controversy surrounding it. I'm about to talk about it because you see what's on the screen. So yeah, if you're new to the channel, right now consider subscribing, or you can decide after you watch the video and listen to what I'm saying, or you can make your decision then. If you're already subscribed, I appreciate you. Yeah, I'm grateful.
And let's keep in mind, he made this like June 21st. I've never seen this. But when I watched it, he didn't disappoint me and he didn't let me down and he didn't play the victim game. He tried to listen to what Japan was saying and I respect him for that. And then he makes it clear that this is about Africa, if we want to talk about the protagonist as Yasuke, and this has nothing to do with African Americans or colored people that live in America. Because we know what America is. It's not the same as native land either. So that's why I say that that term is just stupid. But anyways, let's continue.
Well, yeah, back to the topic. So, just looking at the whole situation, there are things that Ubisoft could have done better. They've done a lot of things in poor taste, and that's put.
Immediately he realizes that Ubisoft has made a lot of mistakes and there's some things he says that is a poor taste. This guy already sees it. A lot of respect to him for that. See, this is about being, as aware as possible and realizing things on so many angles. Because when you get in this type of subject, and I'm deep into this now from my recent videos, there's not much room for error. We have to be very, very intelligent here. We have to be bright here. We have to not make many mistakes. Definitely when dealing with these type of situations, it's a very sensitive topic. Not only is it a very sensitive topic, but you have to realize who's watching too secretly, who knows what they're doing. Like when you're dealing with them, don't make that many mistakes. Actually, I recommend you don't make any at all. And if you feel like you're going to, just stay out of the subject. Comment. You know what I mean? Because it is a thing you kind of have to be courageous about. But let's continue here.
Putting it lightly, because they're doing it from the outside looking in. Like the fact that they chose to put a freaking Yasuke's theme music as a freaking um a Japanese type hip hop beat, and the beat's fire. Yeah, I'm not talking about that. I'm just talking about dude. Looking that decision was made by a person that think that is the type of thing black people want to see.
You see, He's 100% correct on that because for the most part, in their mind, they are, I'd say, a high percentage correct. But the problem is that you can't say that 100% of people are like that. And then what's also wrong about that, because you got to think about how many people are supporting this, because that is what they want to see. See, because they're targeting those type of people so they can use them to attack you and victimize them. And I'm not wrong here. You guys know what I'm talking about. Like I said, I'm just being real here. And what's also interesting about that is that you're using that to represent Africa. That's 100% wrong. I will say that. I can understand if you're saying, "Oh, this is based off of a colored person in America," right? No, because that subgenre is not even a real music genre. Did not even come alive till like the 70s or 80s. This is going all the way back to 1500. What are we doing here? Historical accuracy? Don't come to me with that fiction garbage. Because that's fabricated for a reason. Fiction means that it's only fiction. When you put historical in it, that means it's history. When you say historical fiction, that means it's history mixed with fiction. There's a lot of Assassin's Creed games. I mean, look at Assassin's Creed Egypt. Do you know how much historical accuracy is in that game? I beat it. I think I would know. And I love that game. That game was phenomenal. It's one of my top Assassin's Creed games. It's in my top 3. And I've played every Assassin's Creed game from 1 all the way up to here. I'm a hardcore gamer. I've beaten thousands of games. I'm one of the most intense gamers on this planet. I was number 1 in the world in Gears of War 2. I was number 1 in Unreal Tournament 3. I've hit high peaks in a lot of MMO games and service games. I do this, you know what I'm saying? I just been off the camera for a while, but you guys are going to start seeing me a lot more. But this is not about me, but I just kind of wanted to say that, you know what I mean? I know what I'm talking about here. I've seen gaming all the way from regular Nintendo all the way up to this point. I've been gaming for 30 years, guys. Think about that. Since I was like 4.5 years old. So I've seen it all. You know what I mean? I'm not going to get into anything being shallow, and I'm not going to get into anything to get likes or subscribers. If I get that, it's because I'm doing it being genuine. I think that's the best way to grow, and that's what the creator likes. There's nothing better than doing the right thing and growing and attacking falsehood and being real. You know what I mean? And just not being fake. I just don't like that. I want to be as authentic as possible, just like the sunlight. I want to be that pure radiance. You see what I'm saying? And I want to see that a lot more around. But let's continue to see what he's saying. I like what he's saying.
And hip hop is an African American thing with a little bit of Jamaican, derived from Jamaican sounds. But yeah,
Yeah.
Yasuke is not African American. He's African. So
Did you just hear what he just said? All these fake people over here pretending like you're a part of this? He's African, not a colored person in America. We're talking about the 1500s here. I think the cat's out of the bag with that. You know what I mean? Stop trying to act like you're representing Africa. You're not. You're not the same. And let's see the bigger issue here. It's insulting Japanese history. And we're going to cover Thomas Lockley one day. I'm going to go over him. I think I need like 2 days to do that because I got a lot of stuff going on. But it's insulting Japanese culture. It's insulting the Japanese male because he doesn't exist in this. It's also making it quite obvious that by the time you want to get a game into Japan, you put a samurai there when it's Assassin's Creed Shadows when it should be a male Japanese ninja, because historically the male Japanese ninja is the one who did battle. And the name they gave the ninja is a male name, not a female name. Look up what a female ninja was called. Look into Konichi. Look into things. You see what I mean? Talk to the Japanese culture and see what they have to say. Stop trying to just project with your ego and think that you're right and you just want people to see a certain political aspect, which is very polarizing. It's called political chicanery. It's called playing the victim. It's called manipulating people to see things that are not true, instead of realizing what's really going on and listening to where this issue is at, and also not just being ignorant and saying, oh, it's just white people. How would we even solve anything if that was the case? Because the person who's behind this, that started this book, was Thomas Lockley. He's British. His co-writer is German. Ubisoft is in France. And then you got white liberals in there. So are you saying all those cultures are just considered white and the same? We have to be more intelligent here. We have to be more Pacific here. One was British, one was German. France are the leaders of Ubisoft. And then we have white liberals up in there too, obviously. And then we have the woke color crowd. These are 5 different races right here. Are we just going to say black and white? Because that's very shallow. We need to approach this from an individual aspect instead of saying a spectrum of color, because that's very dumb to me. So that's why I'm stepping into this, because I want people to look at this thing in the most intelligent way as possible. I want you to look right into the sunlight for me and see how this should be addressed. Let's continue here.
Yeah, you should have done more research and at least chose something like.
But they didn't want to work with Japan. Otherwise, this would not be happening. Everyone in the world knows this. And of course, they're not going to work with Africa because they don't really consider them to be smart. They just look down on them. They're some smart Africans. This guy's a smart African. But Japan is the smartest race on the planet, IQ-wise. You think they're making a mistake here, calling them racist? Get out of here with that nonsense. Actually, why don't you look at how you're racist in a lot of ways? Let's turn the mirror here and realize it. You do it a lot, but without realizing it. So what's also interesting here, like he said,
At least rooted of African descent or African traditional music, something to that.
African descent, African rooted music. Historical would mean actual African knowledge and research, and Japanese knowledge and research, working with both of them. Or even talking with Japan, because one thing about Japanese is they're very well read, and they would have helped them understand African history way better than them, because they don't do that type of shit. They don't want to be disrespected, so they're not going to want to disrespect nobody else. I think Japan can vouch for that and agree with that 100%.
To that effect. So yeah, I can see where they dropped the ball right there, and they're feeling the backlash because of it. On another note, yeah,
4K, are you watching this? Oh, he sees so many problems with Ubisoft. He's African, by the way. Y'all are not the same.
also, the Japanese people, at least some of them, are not liking it, and it's warranted because I'm not gonna sit here and play victim like some other black creators might. Um, because they feel like the world is against them, and it might be because of their lived experiences. I'm not here to freaking discredit what they've lived and experienced.
We can go to a lot of places in the world right now. I mean, I lived in Texas for a very long time. You want to go down to Juarez in Mexico? You want to see how they treat the Mexicans? How they get shot up just trying to come back over here and live, a simple life and make some money for their family? They can't even speak English either. I can tell you worse situations. Colored people living right here just like a Caucasian, making more money than some of them. Not trying to hear that shit. Oppression, slavery, unfair advantages are across many cultures, across all over the world. To only think that it's you and to ignore the suffering of other people is something I will not tolerate, and I will attack you for that. See, the Creator cares about everybody. He wants everyone to do better. Slavery does not come from the Creator. He gave everyone free will. He gave you a planet Earth. Just like a developer making a game gave you that planet, that environment, that sun, that moon in there, and he has everyone in there playing, coming in his game. You know what I mean? So it's like, we got to understand that slavery had to be something that somebody had to do to themselves. It's self-inflicted. It's chosen, because it's literally a separation from free will. So the Creator had nothing to do with that. It can only be something that somebody chose. And then if you bring people into that, it's because you chose it. See, this goes all the way back to choices, y'all. People have chose it, and then they brought other people into their choices. We're in a play here, you know what I mean? It's been going on for a very long time. And wherever somebody comes into this play is exactly what a director has it. Like if I log down to like a Fortnite right now, wherever I log into that game is wherever that director has it. You know what I mean? Let's be real here, man. Let's get past all this nonsense. You know what I mean? Talking about big man, get the fuck out of here. No, we know what's going on here. We're not fooled here, and I'm here to bring the truth to people from the sun. So you know what I mean? Let's be real here.
But to be a perpetual victim is, yeah, people are gonna just think of you as a freaking whiny
For the
baby,
most
and
part, they are.
just dismiss whatever you have to say because it's not a good look. So,
Let's take responsibility for our choices. Blaming someone outside of you all the time means that you're not taking responsibility for everything. And if you don't take responsibility, you're never going to own up to your choices, and you're never going to see that you can be the one to make that choice and change your life, your road, and get aligned with free will. Because blaming is not going to help. Take the responsibility. If you're just blaming outside yourself, we can go all the way back to Adam and Eve. You know what I mean? And the blame can only go so far. You know what I mean? It's just a waste of time. Just do better, make better choices. Stop blaming people.
so I've seen a few black creators covering the situation, and they keep on taking the victim aspect of it as nobody likes black people, and everyone, yeah. It's like the freaking overly sensitive, overly they're overly sensitive to a racist narrative that they freaking cling. They cling to the fact that um people are trying to provide valid criticisms of why in every other Assassin's Creed game there are protagonists representative of that time period and region at that time, and why is Assassin's Creed Shadows different. Some say yes, we do have a representative, but we have a Japanese female and a African male. You see, same as how black people, at least some black people, are glad to have a freaking a black male lead in a Assassin's Creed game. The Japanese people, our Japanese males, want a freaking Japanese male for a game that is set in their region. Yeah, they would want that, and you can't blame them. To say that it's racist to for them to want that is just being it's just being selfish, you know.
100% correct. Not only selfish, and he's being nice, but ignorant, having no sense of awareness or sensitivity, or wanting to even talk to them to see how they feel. And to realize how all other cultures were represented by this DEI aspect, but when you get to Japan, you throw DEI out the window. You don't even work with them or talk to them. It blows my mind, and this is, I'm going to be very real on this, how certain people ignore all this. And I don't think it's on an accident. It's done on purpose because you literally just want that agenda to be pushed. Because you want a certain aspect or a certain culture to be represented and insult another culture. You don't care. You just want to see that with the hip hop beats. A lot of the developers are right about those type of mindsets, but they're not right about people like this gentleman right here and other people that are going against that, saying, what the fuck, you know what I mean? Why are you using me to insult Japan? I love the Japanese culture. Don't do that. There's wrong and there's right. I don't give a damn what color you are or what you're trying to represent. If you're trying to represent your race and it's wrong, you are a bigger problem than Ubisoft because you're not helping here. You're giving them the idea that it's okay to support that. That's wrong. I don't care. If it's wrong, it's wrong. I'm attacking it. If it's right, it's right. I'm supporting it, regardless of what you think. That's why I covered what I covered earlier, saying that this is, if anybody should be pissed off from a color perspective, it's going to be Africans. Not somebody over here in America. I'm not having it. That's why I'm attacking people like the one guy I attacked, because I'm just not having it. You know what I mean? That's the reason why I'm covering this video too, and this guy's doing a good job on it. Good job, bro. That's why I'm gonna support you, and I'm gonna bring you more subs. You're not gonna stay at 113.
Just being selfish because
He's being real.
I know you can't put a white man in freaking Assassin's Creed Africa or some stuff hypothetical like that, and yeah, they would be immediately cancelled off the face of the earth. And just because it's Japan.
You see what he's saying? He's telling you stop being a hypocrite. You are. And stop trying to play the victim as if like you're African from Africa. You're not. So much fakeness in this world. I can't stand it.
and Japanese people are, well, not really known for like voicing their criticisms or their grievances with certain situations, because they value like being polite and not really speaking up whenever they're facing any form of injustice. Injustice might not be this might not
My
be
man, this
big
guy,
as
I, I
to
I
be
like him.
considered injustice, but yeah, that right there is just a an unfortunate situation. I checked out the gameplay, the gameplay reveal and stuff like that, and I was impressed. I liked how the gameplay looked. Um, I liked how the characters' movements. I especially like the stealth, so I might be playing.
That's the only part of this game I like. Was when they showed Naoi. Because I feel like when I'm playing an Assassin's Creed game, I want to play Assassin's Creed. And the ninja is a perfect example for this. When they showed her, I felt like it literally felt like an Assassin's Creed game. When they showed Yasuke, everything just felt wrong. I don't even want to play him. I want to play her. That feels like Assassin's Creed, but I feel like she should have had a male Japanese ninja with her. That's another big issue here, is the insult to the Japanese male. He has a lot of pride. He's not happy about that.
This
And we're gonna
whenever
look at some
it
comments
comes
too.
out as mostly Naoe, instead of Yasuke, because I come to Assassin's Creed for the assassinations and the stealth. I'm from way back from Assassin's Creed Brotherhood.
Right here too,
That's
brother.
when I started. Ezio Auditore da
Right here,
Firenze.
360
That's
days.
when
We
I
know what's
started.
up.
Yeah. So I was into that entire thing right there. Another thing, the reason why most people are upset at this is because
But you see what I mean? Like, there are some people that when he said that he only wants to play as Naoi, that would just be racist. You see, that to me is an unintelligent reply. Like, people don't have a different motive of why they would want to authentically play Assassin's Creed, because that's what it's called. A samurai's not an assassin. A ninja is. I want to play a ninja. I want a ninja game. You know what I mean? Um, Not to say that they couldn't assassinate people, but I mean, a ninja is a perfect role for this. You know what I mean? And Yasuke, he's just way out of place. It just feels fake. You know what I mean? It doesn't feel real.
it seems like virtue signaling. It doesn't seem like an authentic idea that someone came up with to freaking like
Yeah.
hear historic information about a black samurai, or and think that that might be cool if we make a game centered around it. Yeah. They
Yeah.
don't think that it's an authentic thing. They think it's mostly there for
Agenda and profit
social justice points.
and
Like
manipulation.
representation, and we hearing that they making him gay at least by, yeah, that's another checklist.
Yeah, making him
And
gay.
freaking give him the typical black hairstyle, the dreads,
Dreads.
and then the tone deaf thing of putting a freaking um hip hop soundtrack for his theme song, bro.
Protector turned persecutor. Greed cannot rule this village. Not while I have breath in my lungs and a blade in my hand.
Not only this, but let's take a look at this real quick. Do we know what type of weapon that is? So he's also a master of that weapon? And Bushido in under a year? And he could work with a Japanese female ninja who's not real either. And could just go around slaughtering people with it without getting to... Man, come on, man. Get out of here. That's all fake. That's not historical accuracy. You know how long it takes to master Bushido? And how long it would take to wield this too? This club right here? Against people who grew up in that world at that time doing that? It's not real.
I said kill him.
That's crazy. That just screams white people that think that all black people are the same.
Well, that's the thing. That's the only thing that... And I understand what he's saying. He could say that. I'm not going to criticize him for that, but it's like I said earlier. Thomas Lockley is British. His co-writer is German. Ubisoft is French, filled with some Caucasian people too. And you have the woke crowd with them. That's 5 different cultures I just described there. That's why I don't like that term. But I just feel like people feel comfortable hearing that, so they say that. But we need to be more specific about who is actually doing this, so that we can not only so much call that out, but say what's your point and what's your agenda and why did you do this? And this guy already deleted his account. I'm gonna get to him though. That has to be a separate video.
And want, and that is what they want. You just showing how uninformed on this situation that you are, because you're looking at it and thinking that African Americans are and Africans are the same thing when they're not.
Like I said,
I'm just using Rev's video as a background here, but yeah, it's crazy, and people are quick to defend the big company that are intentionally making choices that are detriment to the consumer. And I've already talked about the freaking pricing structure for this game, where
see, this is hearing from a African. You hear me on this?
it starts at 70, goes to 110, and then 130 and 130. And the 110 ones have content locked behind the paywall, like the base version.
Yeah, that's annoying.
And you don't get to play the game on the release date, because they say it's 3 days early. If you put access to the game, early access to the game to the behind a paywall, the early access is the actual release date, and the base version, you because you don't have enough money, you get to play it late. You know, that's punishment for not having enough money, is to get to play the game late and to get one mission withheld from you. And
that's a good perspective. And then there's people that have the money, and just like myself, you know, I could be a millionaire and tell you, hey, F you, that's wrong. It's like I said, it goes back to before, right and wrong. No, how about you have early access for people who get the game, period, and pre-order it? It used to be a thing back then. But that's corporate greed on top of so much that's wrong with this game. There's people that have money that you just don't want to support that. It's not because you can't afford it, but because you don't want to support that. And I'm adding that into what he's saying. I'm not criticizing him. I think he's doing a good job. Definitely for being in Africa and realizing the situation and being well-read. And he did better research than you, Ubisoft.
Also, future content.
Or you just doing that on purpose.
Future content.
Not all of Ubisoft, but the people that are behind
you can
this.
pay for that as when the DLC comes out, if you're interested. Yeah, as a person that as a video gamer, a freaking gamer, an anime enthusiast, a freaking tech enthusiast, you know, I like to see the technology and stuff that has been implemented into the making of this game, because the game looked wonderful.
Yeah. Oh, Ubisoft engines are amazing.
Because it's mired
Unity is great.
Controversy that it is right now, the game might not get like the opportunity to shine as it would have, because we know that there are people in these game communities that have agendas and messages to push, and that it's not a genuine product that you can just escape from the problems plaguing people in society nowadays. You just go into the game and get reminded of the same situations that people are facing in the real world. And entertainment should be escapism, and that's I'm never gonna budge an inch on that point, because we know these people literally do these things to get praise and to get recognized and to make money. We don't trust them because it's not genuine. It's not authentic. If you think that they're just doing it for social justice points, for woke points, and I remember when woke used to be a term of being aware of the societal injustices that plague people, being awake and aware of things that are put in place in the government to be a detriment to people in society. And I don't know when the shift took place, but yeah, the term got used to make fun of people who think that they're woke, but they're actually asleep.
Okay. Good job on that. That's very true. And we can go to a lot of terms that used to mean something. Like, look at the term gay used to mean happy. Look at what they did with the creator's rainbow. It's now being used to represent gay pride. Look at what a lot of terms used to mean and how their meaning is changed. Language is very multidimensional. You know what I mean? Just like when you look at a political word or you look at the way terms are used in a courtroom, language can be like that. It can be mutable. It's very true because the original woke times when that word was first introduced compared to what it is now is not the same. And he's absolutely correct. Those people that think they're aware, they think they're awake are actually sleepwalking. And they need to realize who's behind them that put them to sleep. And is a slave master, victimizing people. These are people that are smarter than you, but are doing this because they don't like you. And they put this like certain type of light in front of your face, almost as like it's Lucifer himself or the devil himself. And then they make you feel very comfortable, and it's like, oh, and you're just sleeping. And hey, it's not human. It's something that's been doing this to the human race for a very long time. But we're not going to get deep into that, but I think a lot of people with eyes who are actually open can see what I'm talking about when it comes to that type of stuff. And they're very good at playing the puppet master. And he sees that, and that's good. I like this guy, and that's why I covered him. So let's finish this off real quick.
They actually became a part of the system that is pushing messages and narratives to freaking, brainwash and manipulate people. But yeah, guys, yeah. If you feel the same, if you don't feel the same, leave that all in the comments. Honest opinions. I don't care if you're upset that I decided to voice a fair opinion, giving.
I'm not upset. I'm actually very happy to see you do this and actually be intelligent and actually be intellectually honest and realize a lot of things that a lot of people just don't want to realize or admit because they want to push a certain agenda. Good job, buddy.
Ubisoft a fair shake, and the people that are
I'm going to
voicing
post
their
and let him know
complaints
too.
and
I did
criticisms
that.
a fair shake. Yeah, I don't care if you're upset. Just yeah.
You shouldn't, because when you're telling the truth and you're being honest, why would you want to apologize for telling the truth and being honest and sharing a fair perspective and realizing when somebody else has done wrong from another territory? What's wrong with that? That's not wrong. You should never want to apologize for that. Never apologize for being right and for doing the right thing. Fuck that.
Leave your comments. If you want to subscribe, I appreciate you. Yeah, because this is your time and you decided to watch my video, so I appreciate you. Yeah, I'll see you in the next one. This Wolf. Peace out. Itekimasu. Let's get this. Let's get it. Yeah.
He did a good job. All right, y'all, like, subscribe if you like this type of content. I'm glad to support and cover him. And I will be putting his video inside of my description. And I'm going to let him know that I'm supporting him. All right, y'all. See, diversity and all of this. We're not done. We're gonna cover Thomas Lockley. I know there's some people from Japan that want me to do that. I'm going to do that. I'm waiting to do that. And we're going to get to that. All right, y'all. Peace and love. Peace out. Be real.